Welcome to the table, everyone. I am your dungeon master, and I have an interesting thing to share with you right now. You see, I had just seen, well, not just seen, but I saw Star Wars Rogue One just as everyone else did, and I noticed something particularly interesting about it. You see, it reminded me way too much of a Star Wars Western RPG game session. Yes. And yeah, I couldn't shake that fact. It looked way too close to that particular thing. And now, regardless if you liked the movie or not, everybody loved it. Everyone loved the movie, even if you hated it, even not if I hated it, even if I hated it not, everyone loved it. Still, let's really get into this. Why do I think of it like this? Well, let's start from the very beginning. Whether this is true or not, this is what happened. A long time ago, back in 1997, several guys and maybe a gal were in the middle of playing a Star Wars Western RPG game session when suddenly their entire party got wiped out. Everybody died, everyone was all pissed off, the game was over, the campaign was dead because everybody's dead, so everyone's mad. When suddenly, one of them, perhaps the DM, had a wonderful idea. Let's do an actual event that took place in Star Wars. They were like, what do you mean by that? And he said, you guys are gonna get the plans of the Death Star. You guys are gonna be that party. And they loved the idea. Of course we're gonna do that. This is gonna be so fun, right? Well, there were some problems. You see, none of them had characters ready because, after all, their characters just died, and none of them really wanted to wait because this was such an interesting idea. Of course they want to do this. It's going to be fun. So, they spent an hour at least making their new characters, and these characters were probably the most boring, annoying characters that you've ever seen in an RPG ever. Because they didn't get any time to make them. As for the DM, he had to write on the script. Right then and there. So an hour later, they all came back together to get ready for the game. Now let's talk about these characters. One of them, I suppose, the players really wanted to play a Jedi. I can almost see it. But he realized that there wouldn't really be a Jedi at this point because, after all, Leia in A New Hope was looking for Obi-Wan, who is a Jedi, so they wouldn't have a Jedi at the time. But he really wanted to play a Jedi, so he made a character that was a bodyguard for Jedi locations, and he was able to observe them. The Jedi's learning the Force. So he's not really a Jedi, but he still kind of use the Force, and he's blind and all that kind of stuff. He's gonna be an awesome character. Nah, maybe not. Not really that great of a character, but still, hey, most interesting character so far. I mean, the other characters, I suppose, the only really interesting about one of them was that he had a robot. And then there's the lady, and, well, I don't suppose they really have much to say about her, except she was the token girl of the party. That's that's about it, really. I mean, there are a few. I suppose there was several people, so they had more, but that's not the point. Let's move on to the DM, because that's when we actually get into things that actually matter about the story. Yeah, and the random encounters, all that nonsense. And see, as he looked at the character sheets, he noticed that none of them really had that great charisma. And they're kind of awkward. None of them really enjoyed their time. But then he realized how he could make this work. You see, since their charisma sucks, they're never going to be able to get away with the disguise within the Death Star. I apologize for this chair I'm sitting on, but hey, I can't help that. But still, where was I? Yeah. So he decided to move it somewhere else. Move the plans, and then he realized that maybe one of the characters has a relative that was on the project of making the plans for the Death Star, and suddenly this could have something to do with the characters, and it's gonna be so freaking cool. Yes, they're gonna love it. They're gonna love what I do. I'm so good at this. Well, yeah, I'm harping on that, but still. But no, where to put the plants of the Death Star? Well, you would have to put it in a place where they would. Yeah, a planet, a unique planet. Something that's never been seen before in Star Wars. How about a planet with a bubble shield? Oh, Jeridia, of course! We'll put it on planet Jeridia because no one will ever suspect it. And so, what did you... Man, I really gotta figure this out. Let's see. What else could have happened during this session? Well, I'm pretty sure that most of the time that these characters are playing, they've been getting some really bad dice rolls. They've been having a lot of stormtroopers chasing after them, they're getting shot a lot, sometimes, I suppose. Maybe even having some characters drop and forcing these players to make new characters over and over. I don't know how many of them did, but I guarantee you that some of them got killed. So, with this in mind, I think they got the whole Imperial Army realizing what their Rogue One was doing. That they were actually onto the plans of the Death Star, which was bad. Well, not only for the players, but for the DM, because at this point he can't budget. He can't stop the armies from actually getting at them, so the players did the next best thing. They contacted the rebel soldiers. So now we can have a huge battle with the players, the rebel soldiers, a bunch of stormtroopers, the AT-STs, the AT-ATs, the TIE fighters, and a huge naval battle in the space, and it's gonna be so fucking awesome. And most importantly, Grand Moff Tarkin, of course. This is gonna be the best part. He was the main villain of the 4th movie, even more scary than Darth Vader. So it's gonna be freaking awesome to see him on their tail. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, now that I think, when I really look at it, I'm pretty sure it would have been a blast to be a part of this game session, even if there are a lot of bad dice rolls between everybody. But hey, if we manage to get through it, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of memories of this game. But as I think of it now, I'm pretty sure it would be just as fun as to actually watching the whole game session play out. So yeah, I suppose that's the only drawback about it. On that note, I think that's where I'm gonna end this conversation. I hope you do like my little rambling nonsense of this whole event, because I'm pretty sure this is how it actually happened. Happened in somebody's basement. Thank you everybody for listening. By the way, did you notice that in the movie that there was a hentai tentacle monster wrapping up one of the characters? And one of these monsters was in the same room spending the night with the female character? With that knowledge in mind, I think I'll leave you with that. Goodbye everybody, and thank you.